Hello everyone, welcome to today's dance journal. Today we are going to split this journal into two sections. The first one is theory part, and then I will follow by the other part, which is our cha-cha routine, and we learn something called Cucaracha. And the last one is my further understanding about the dance that we learned last week. And I think I mentioned in the last dance journal that I said, actually, I don't understand why is this called open, but it is called open. So I got my answer today. I'm going to share with you. All right, so what is the theory part? It is about the back. So these two, if we put our hand on our waist, then you can see my shoulder blades. So this shoulder blade is like this. From what I understand, it is like this, and when we squeeze it down, the other side will react, and then we squeeze it down, the other side will react. So this is related to what we learned earlier about the compression. So we want to expand and then compress, and then here we expand already, we compress, and this side will react to it. I'm not sure if it's working, but I'm trying my best to do what I understand. So I'll open up this part and squeeze the other side down, and now I want to squeeze the other side down, and squeeze the other side down, and squeeze the other side down. This theory is actually applying with our Cuban motion. You have to step, push, backward, step, push, backward, step, push, backward. You know what I see from what I see my teacher do is actually he was doing this one. He pushes, really pushing, and then he compressed, and then backward. And then as he shift the weight, he push and backward. Shift, push, backward. Shift, push, and backward. All right, let's talk about another theory, which is our hip. So the question I got was, where is our hip? Obviously, it's here, right? The part that is like, you can see very clearly, this is the hip. But actually, then I understand hip is actually the socket that join our leg to our upper body. So that part, that joint is where we are moving, right? Otherwise, we are using our waist to move. So we are not using our waist, we are using our hip. Wow. Okay. Right, so just now I also mentioned about our shoulder blade, right? Is a diagonal movement. Same goes to our hip. That is how I feel physically. That is not what my teacher said, but that is my personal feeling. You know, when we stand on one leg, when our weight is on one leg, as we bring this backward, I actually also imagine to bring the other side forward. It feels easier to move if we think of two sides is moving, right? And then shift. This is also a diagonal movement. So we stand, go in front. We have to pull. There's a string pulling here, and then string pull back, and then this one come in front. Ha! And then we have to shift our weight, and then push it in front, and then shift again, right? Okay, so there is a relationship between the shoulder blade, the compress of your torso, and also where you do this movement, okay? All right, so this is going to bring me directly to the next thing, how to put this into music. So it's like fast, fast, slow, and fast, fast, slow, and fast, fast, slow, and fast, fast, slow. Because if we think in music, like 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 4 and 1 and, because we want to bring the rotation on the end. But as I watch my coach, I can't really get that because perhaps it's not that precise, or maybe, you know, just like in music, our eyes and our ears and our mouth and our hands are 4 different things when we are doing our art. That could be why I'm confused. But yeah, so if I'm gonna count, which is not really working, I mean, it works, but it's not so natural, especially the 4 and 1 and. That slow part is really like so vague, you know, there's a different mindset in dancing. So just let me show you the not working one first, but work halfway. So it will be step, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 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 1 and. So your 1 already have to be there, you know. So the estimation of the 4 and to 1, that's driving me crazy. That is, yeah, the crazy thing. So if you put it in music, it'll be bum 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 and 2 and 3 and do 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 and bum bum 1 and 2 and 3 and do do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, I hope I'm doing okay. The mindset that actually work is fast, fast, slow, fast, fast, slow. And as I'm talking, I reminded myself about the previous class, that actually we don't want to think about the movements as downbeat or upbeat. It's not on the point. The movements is from one point to the next point, is that in between. If you're a music person, so you know interval, whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half. So what makes a whole step is actually from do to re, from C to D. We are drawing, for example, this is C, this is D. So we are drawing in between. This is a whole step. And then from D to E, so this is the whole step. The combination is a whole step. So we cannot say D itself is a whole step, right? So it also happens in the dancing, but I still cannot really grasp it. I can understand, but physically I'm not doing it. So yes, that is what I'm going to share with you. Now let's move into the practical section, okay? So first, cha-cha routine. Cha-cha routine is step, step, and cha-cha-cha, and step, step, cha-cha-cha, step, step, and cha-cha-cha, step, step, and cha-cha-cha. So I mentioned this in the previous video also. The next one is Cucaracha. It's something new we learned. It is like this. All the practical movements that we learn is about Cuban motion. So these few weeks we are learning about Cuban motion, which is the movement of the hips. So we have to step, shift, and then shift back, and then step back, shift weight, then step, shift, shift, and close our leg, and then change weights. That is generally what I can remember. Now let's go to the thing that I can remember the most confident part of the entire class. So this I mentioned already in our previous session. We have to stand, and then we have to push to point, and then we have to rotate the hip, and then bend our knee here, and then keep it next to our feet, and then step down, right? And then you have to push the toe, and kiss the knee, and then the feet, both feet have to step down and point at the same time. Step down and point, and then now this is a closed position because I'm facing you naturally, and now this is why it's open because I'm rotating my hip here backward, and here I'm bending my knee. And this is the relationship between the rotation of hip and the bending of knee. Now we want to bring this backward on ball. Bring it backward, and then now we want to also face in front, which is a closed position. And then we want to step down, and then we are open. As we open, then we are moving, and then we slide to the side. Bring it there, and then bring it here. As we push and turn, we have to keep this next to our left foot, and then step down, and then back leg on ball. And now push to ball again, and then push in front, and then rotate. As we rotate, our knee can bend. And then next to our right leg, and then step down again. And this pattern goes on and on. So what is the deeper understanding I learned today is the first one I mentioned already. Understand why this is called the open and this is closed. The other biggest takeaway today is, when we do a check like this, a Rumba check, so after we do both step down and point, we have to open, right? And this part, I overdo it. So I was doing this. And then when I step down, I miss one step, which is the rotation. I have no way to rotate anymore because I've overdue. So let's do from the open position. And then when I bring it back, I just need to bring 50%, not like just now, like 100% already. So 50%, I'm still facing you. And as I step down, I am having a space to rotate, and then I can open. I can do this open position and bring this back, and then go there, Cuban motion, and rotate, right? And Cuban motion, rotate, step down. Okay, so that is the two biggest takeaway. Today we also learned hip twist. Wow, this is suddenly I can remember. Alright, so this is the fourth movement. So hip twist, we learned in level 1, but today we learn it again. I find myself more comfortable with the movements now because of my muscles. I've been developing it. So we stand, we want to push, and we push already. We want to rotate that side. And we want to bring this one close to our left foot, and then, make a turn, okay? So on ball, and then we want to push, and then rotate, and then step down, on ball, push, rotate, and then step down, ball, push, rotate, woohoo! And then step down, push, and rotate. Alright, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoy.